mountain pose. You are a Sanskrit scholar, little bit. I don't dare to call myself Sanskrit scholar, but I try my best. To be a Sanskrit scholar is not an easy job. Even so, I have spent some years teaching Sanskrit. I am far from being a Sanskrit scholar. Sanskrit is not an easy language to learn. You are a Sanskrit scholar. Do you know why? The mountain pose. Well, it is called mountain pose for obvious reasons, because it is very stable, like the mountain. Mountain is a symbol of stability, and it should be very stable. The Vrikshasana, again, it is these Sanskrit names are. Sanskrit is a wonderful language. The vriksha, the tree, is also the symbol. The tree becomes very stable when the roots are very stable. And the roots of when we are standing are actually our legs, our feet. They root us on the earth. The earth element, according to Buddhism, is that which establishes us in the body. It is due to earth element that we are aware of the body, because the earth element accepts all the other elements. Earth accepts water. The earth is a base. When our body is in a harmonious condition, we are experiencing the heavy and light side of the earth element equally. That means roughness and smoothness, the hardness and softness. They should be balancing well, matching well. So when the earth is well balanced, the other elements will also be well balanced. All elements, they have heavy side and the light side. The heavy side of earth is like hardness, the light side is smoothness, the heavy side of the water is cohesion, the light side is flowing, the heavy side of fire element is coolness, the light side is warmth, the heavy side of wind element is supporting, the light side is pushing. So the elements have to be well balanced, well matched to make us feel comfortable in our body. It is very important to understand. Now, the tree becomes very powerful and very strong when its roots are deep. Similarly, our bodily posture becomes very stable when we are well planted on the ground through our feet, through our limbs. So that is why the mountain posture or the tree posture, they both have the meaning of stability. When we think of mountain, we think of something very stable. When we think of the tree, we think of something very stable with deep roots that the wind cannot topple. So in order to stand correctly, we have to plant our weight on the soles and on the legs so that the elements are distributed ideally, balanced in the body. Then we will have the feeling of being of unshakability. The same we should try to feel when we're sitting, when we're walking, when we're lying down. Then our awareness and mindfulness will become continuous. It is a skillful means for developing mindfulness and awareness. So, also yoga breathing tip. There is chatting to determine the death of I cannot read it. Who wrote it? You will have to read it because you have read it.
So one of Krishnamacharya's 30-year students, Krishnamacharya taught V.K.S. Iyengar and Pattabhi Joy, two completely different styles that developed from him. Apparently what he taught, according to his student who now lives in Michigan, Sri Rama Vastaswamy, I think, he said there was no posture Krishnamacharya would give without a 5-second inhale and without 5-second inhalation and 5-second exhalation at a minimum. So you had mentioned that conversation is used in India to make sure a posture is being done comfortably.
Not posture.
An asana.
The breathing. The breathing should not become too forced. If the breathing becomes unnatural and forced, that means that you are making too much effort. If you're making too much effort, it means you are not performing correctly. The breathing should optimally remain as natural as possible. Even so, you are moving into difficult posture. So, if the breathing becomes interrupted and connected with what do you call it? Huh? Panting and so on, it means you are out of yoga. You cannot practice concentration. When the breathing becomes unnatural, you cannot practice concentration. So by doing these exercises, the breathing optimally should remain natural, not force it. If you go into extreme in the yoga, of course, you are putting some effort, but that effort should not affect too much the breathing. The breathing should optimally remain natural. That's all. It does not. I was not talking about the posture. I was only talking about the breathing.
So I was just offering something from a different teacher, which Krishnamacharya is attributed with saying that in order to make sure posture, an asana, is done properly, it's supported and the mind is kept in the posture by this type of inhale and this longer exhale, and it allows a person to stay focused, stay relaxed. If they cannot do a 5-second inhale or 5-second exhale, the suggestion is...
Why 5 seconds? They count it or what?
Well, what happens is, he says at least, but eventually a person will start forming their breath naturally without thinking about it with the heart rate. So you can try this for anyone can try this for themselves, but when I read this, it made a lot of sense. He was a famous teacher. And versus checking, can a person hold a conversation, each person without having a conversation can do long, slow, deep breathing while they're in an asana. And if they can't do long, slow, deep breathing, then the asana is going too far. And that is not me, that's just coming from Krishna.
I am using the asanas only as a skillful means for developing concentration, that's all. I am not teacher of the asanas, I am teacher of meditation. And the asana, as even in the yoga tradition of Patanjali, is the stable and comfortable posture, that's all.
Sthira Sukha, yeah, chapter 243, yeah.
You have studied.
I study yoga for meditation also.
Yeah. So it is very important, because when you have it, the quality of breath will change. When the quality of breath changes, then the mind naturally starts practicing pratyahara, the inward turning of the senses, which is the beginning of meditation. Without the inward turning of the senses, there is no question of meditation. So all this is actually one process. The asana, the breathing, and the turning inside of the senses is one process. We separate it to see it together. Finally, what you need is to connect them together, and then the concentration becomes natural. Unless you develop the natural concentration, you will never be able to go deep into the state of absorption. No way. So it is one process. If you see them separately, it means your experience is not deep enough. When your experience becomes deep enough, you see them as one process. Then you can learn the science of samadhi, otherwise not. So I emphasize the asanas not for the science of perfection in asanas. I emphasize the asanas as a skillful means for learning samadhi, that's all. It's not necessary to become master of asanas to meditate well.
I just wanted to offer what another teacher from India says to do, so that each person can make sure that they're not too far.
Who is not too far?
That a person, you had mentioned that a teacher will hold a conversation or chat with the students to make sure they haven't done the pose to a harmful degree.
Yeah, the breath should remain natural in the postures. If it is not, it means he cannot practice concentration. That's all.
The box says suggestions, so I might have gone too far. The first sentence in there notes that the card is not a question, that it's just a tip from another teacher.
Okay.
So
no problem.
Didn't want to distract it.
No problem. So it is very important to see all these elements together. And all these, the stable, comfortable posture, the natural breathing, and the turning of the senses inside, then they enable the mind to go into deeper state of concentration. When these conditions are not there, the mind will not go into deeper concentration. That's all. So, any other questions?
What about the eyes when we meditate?
Yes.
Open, close.
I don't want to make a rule. Making a rule here is not good. eyes, it's of course, if you are, your eyes are paying attention to the outer objects, you should close your eyes, no doubt. You will, if you pay attention to the outer objects, you will never develop a powerful concentration. But keeping the eyes a little open, it helps to relax. You may have experienced that. So it's all right to keep the eyes little open, but not to pay attention to the outer colors. If you can do that, there's no obstacle in keeping the eyes little open. But if your eyes are open and you pay attention to the outer objects, you are out of meditation. So if you feel that if you pay attention to the outer object, it's better to close the eyes. But if you can keep the face relaxed and the mind relaxed with the help of keeping the eyes little open without paying attention to colors, it may be very good. You have to try. Especially the beginners in meditation, if they open the eyes, they will start paying attention to the colors, because the habit of catching the outer object is very strong in mind. But if you have some experience in, we were just talking about the pratyahara, the turning of the senses inside, then it should not be any difficulty in keeping the eyes little open. They should not go outside. Is it clear?
Yes, just to continue this question is, the Bodhidharma is a famous method of just like facing the wall. So maybe you still open the eye when you face the wall.
Yes, it is a different kind of meditation.
Oh, okay.
You know, the Chan meditation, the aim of Chan meditation is to contemplate directly emptiness. Here, the meditation on breath is not contemplating directly emptiness. It is the traditional meditation of emptying your mind on the base of observation of the object. So you don't take, in Zen you take emptiness as an object. But here you cannot empty the breath, you are working with the breath. So the Chan tradition is based on the so-called Nirvikalpa Jnana, Wu Fen Pie Zhi. So you experience, when you practice Chan, you experience all kinds of other sensations, all kinds of thoughts, but you keep your mind focused on emptiness, which at first is just a concept, but finally, if you meditate in this way and meditate correctly, if you have a good teacher for that, it does not become a concept, it becomes a direct experience. That is a kaiwu. But in this meditation, the traditional Buddhist meditation, you don't start with the concept of emptiness. You realize emptiness step by step. And it is much more secure, this because it is very easy in Zen to be deluded about one's realization. I have met quite few people who think that they have realized something, but what they have realized only they themselves know. But in this meditation, when you go step by step, you are sure when you have realized something that it is genuine. But it is perfectly all right to combine these two. It is possible. But first, there is no question of Chan or deep Zen experience unless you have deep concentration. And deep concentration is still best to develop on something which is clear. The emptiness is not clear. It can be very easily mistaken for something which does not exist. So many Zen freaks going around who believe they have experienced something, but what they experience, who knows?
In Anapanasati Sutta, there is a mentioning of the concentrating on the breathing. There's like 16 stages.
16 exercises. Yeah.
Now, there is no mentioning of concentrating on the tip of the nose or the nostril, or neither in abdomen. So when you teach Anapanasati, do you teach students to concentrate on the nostril or any other body parts?
Actually, I have explained yesterday, there are two traditions, the southern tradition and the northern tradition. The southern tradition is emphasizing, we will talk about it in the coming days, that the process of following the breath is the process of touching the breath. And touching the breath is explained that the most convenient place is around the nostrils, because there you get the most clear sensation of the breath entering the body and going out of the body. In the Chinese tradition, actually you become aware of the breath in the whole body. It is explained in the scriptures that actually each pore of the skin, like a Mao Kung, each Mao Kung is participating in the in-breath and out-breath. And actually you should become aware of it. And you can only become aware of it precisely when you not only pay attention to the in-breath and out-breath, but as I have explained, also to the subtle breath, in-between breaths. So explanation is very different. So you have mentioned in the Chinese tradition of the gross breath going through the nostril, and you have mentioned of the subtle breath appearing in each and every pore of the skin. And you have mentioned of not only in-breath and out-breath, you have mentioned of the in-between breath. So it is more close to the yoga tradition. In yoga tradition, we also differentiate 4 phases of the breath. That means you in breath, which is called puraka, filling, then kumbhaka, antara kumbhaka, which means the interval in breath with the body full of breath, then out breath, rechaka, that means the emptying the body, and the interval, the bahya kumbhaka, the interval where the breath is outside. So the same in the northern tradition. You have not 2 just in-breath and out-breath, you have 4 stages of the process of breathing to watch. And in the Chinese tradition, as opposed to the Theravada tradition, the process of sublimating the breath takes place at the touching around the nostrils, where the gross breath enters the body. The most important in the Chinese tradition is the process of sublimation takes place in these intervals, same like in yoga. Because you pay attention to this interval breathing, the subtle breathing, therefore it becomes more and more clear object. So after explaining breathing in and breathing out mindfully, the scriptures explain, of Northern Buddhism explain, of Southern Buddhism also explain, Digham asasanto digham asasamiti pajanati, digham pasasanto digham pasasamiti pajanati, rasam asasanto rasam asasamiti pajanati, rasam pasasanto rasam pasasamiti pajanati. He understands with wisdom when he's breathing in the long breath and when he's breathing out the long breath. He understands with wisdom when he's breathing in the short breath and when he's breathing out the short breath. The explanation of Theravada Buddhism, he understands with wisdom on the touching point. So the understanding of the Chinese Buddhism, of Chinese tradition is that when the gross breath, the in-breath is short, the interval breath will be long. When the in-breath is long, the interval breath will be short. So by paying attention to the interval breath, it becomes longer and longer. So the same when you go into learn the samadhi, actually the breath in the beginning becomes long, but when you actually adopt to the condition of the samadhi, you will experience a very short breath. And so it is very important to understand these are differences. Both methods are okay, but the Chinese method is very much close to yoga, and it allows the sensitivity of the whole body, and in this sensitivity of the whole body you then investigate the organs, and you investigate the 32 or 36 bodily parts. For that meditation, after in-breath and out-breath in both Chinese and Theravada tradition, comes a meditation on the 32 or 36 parts of the body. If you work with the breath of the whole body, then it becomes very clear. And you can then experience, in accordance with the Tiantai tradition, these different organs and different colors, different channels in the body. This meditation gives you access to that. The Chinese, they have a very great tradition of the detailed understanding of the channels in the body. It is, I believe, also based on that tradition of the awareness of breath in the whole body, rather than focusing it around the nostrils. So both, if you want to learn the focusing of the mind and at the same time the letting go, maybe this meditation is very useful to keep your attention to the touch. But if you want to then connect this meditation with the yoga tradition and experience the channels and experience the pranic energies in the body, the Chinese tradition which is very close to yoga, is very, very useful, of course. So all depends on what one wants. Best is to learn both. But one after the other. Huh? So we still have the Metta Sutta. We don't have time for Metta Sutta today. We will chant it tomorrow in the morning service. And today we just do the transference of merit and have rest. So please, for tomorrow, prepare your questions. We will go on with some explanations in the evening. So let us do the transference of merit. Akasatta chabumatha deva naga mahidika punyang tang anumoditva chiram rakhantu sasanang. Usually we say loka sasanam, the teachings in the world, but it's okay. Akasatta chabumatha deva naga mahidika punyang tang anumoditva chiram rakhantu desanang. Akasatta chabumatha deva naga mahidika punyang tang anumoditva chiram rakhantu mamparam. Eta vata cha amehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya. Eta vata cha amehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya. Eta vata cha amehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya. Bhavaga upadaya avici hetato etantare santakayupana cha rupi arupi cha asanya sanyino dukha pamuchantu fusantu nibutim. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Om Tobo. So let us take a good rest. Hope you can sleep like in Devachen, in the Sukhavati, in